All right. So this is going to be a kind of a long one. There was a lot of back and forth, and ultimately, I can sum up what was said in about a paragraph or so, which is indicative of the way in which attorneys seem to work. Um, So at first starts out cordial, as you'd expect. I show them everything. I attempted to be as clear as possible. Now this guy, John, he always talked kind of oddly. And in the email correspondence, it was um, even more pronounced, even more bizarre, more robotic. I'm not sure why. When I spoke to him on the phone, um, he didn't talk like that. So it must have been a show. And so there was a webinar or a Zoom meeting where I might be able to upload that as well, but basically I just told them, I gave them a rundown of exactly what happened with Visa Express Bangkok. Yeah. So my question was, I'm confused. Or rather, my question was, what what are the possible outcomes? And they didn't answer the question. That's that's what you'll see here. That the entire back and forth here is smoke and mirrors with John. He is the person that I corresponded with most, but there were apparently, as I understand it, there was an entire team of people that was reviewing, watching, reading, considering the case. That was my understanding. And there are some other attorneys that jump in here and there. You'll see that. Most of the questions, if not all of my questions, were not directly addressed. Here's the other attorney. Here's one of the other attorneys. But you'll see later that it took a it was an uphill battle to get a straight answer out of my quote unquote legal team. Which the idea is when you go to a when you go to an organization, a legal organization for legal matters, um, you know, unless they are fresh, and even if they're fresh, they have knowledge on the facts that you're needing. But if they've been involved in the legal profession for, you know, any amount of time, they have experience with these matters as well. They're educated on the facts, the clear cut black and white law of the issue. That's why they've decided to take on the case. You'd think, and that's what I assume. I think that's a reasonable assumption, and yet they behave as though this is the first time they've ever seen something like this. It's the first time that they've ever needed to consider the facts as they are. This was, if not the most clear-cut case I have ever imagined. I believe it was. I had an abundance of evidence. And ultimately, it's in the contract. The contract said I was going to be refunded 100% for if they failed to produce the visa. So if I don't have a usable visa, they owe me money. That's as easy to understand as anything. And then they start arguing with me. And they were constantly asking for payment. They hadn't answered my questions. We hadn't formulated a coherent strategy for how we were going to take on this case. Whatever we could have come up with, there was never a strategy session. That's what I was probing for. That's what I was constantly trying to get out of them, is what is our strategy here? What are we going to actually do in case of A, B, and C happening? I never got that strategy session, even though, you know, they kept on insisting that I pay them for what I couldn't understand was any work at all. And it becomes clear that if you read all of these messages, I can sum it up in that they made me believe that they were doing something behind the scenes that was in my interest. However, none of it was on paper. They couldn't show it anywhere that they had done any work on my behalf anywhere. At the end of this, that's what I am trying to suss out. And this is where John had said, leave the case alone, let the police investigate, because apparently they were supposed to investigate. And again, I'm asking a direct question. No reply. Well, no reply that addresses my question. And then they start asking me questions, not addressing my question. So that's the kind of service that you can expect from attorneys. If that's how you like to be treated, I suppose this is the path for you. What's interesting to me is how everybody involved in this situation, from Visa Express, declared that they were not involved with the with taking my money, as clearly as I can understand and reflect my understanding. Nobody from Visa Express accepted responsibility. They all ran away, disappeared. And direct questions were met with smoke and mirrors, dodgy answers, or outright lies. Going to the police, giving them all of the information that I'm sharing with all of you, and then some, resulted in nothing. The police did nothing. I received no correspondence from the police, zero. And it was always unclear to me what, if anything, that the lawyers had accomplished. The one thing that they did do, that is evident, is that they submitted a complaint with the same people, or rather with the police at Lumpini Park police station, just like I did, which I always explained to them that I had already done that. That my complaint was submitted. They made it seem as though my complaint was insufficient. That's what they told me, that based on my complaint, the police would not understand the broader context of the crime. And this is the only straight answer that I ever got from this organization here, John, with an all caps no, because I kept on pushing it. I kept on pushing the issue because ultimately this is what they wanted payment for. They wanted payment for this work that they had done, and there it is. No, there's nothing more to the report that the lawyers had submitted. Their report to the police was identical to mine, unnecessary, because I had already submitted mine. And there it is, in clear caps. They had done nothing that I hadn't already done. And then they're still asking me here, where's the payment? Here you go. These are attorneys. And again, I want to make it clear that the police did nothing to my knowledge. Nothing. They put on a show just like these attorneys. What I think would have happened is the same outcome. They would have said the attorneys would have taken their payment for what I had already done, and I believe that that's probably where it would have ended. Because to my knowledge, the police weren't doing anything. And these lawyers, they seem incompetent. They seem incapable of doing anything beyond what I had done myself. They act like drug addicts, abusive, ranting and raving like lunatics. And the thing is, I don't know the scope of the damage that these attorneys did to the case, because I'm not getting any correspondence from anybody, not Visa Express, not the police. And well, you can plainly see that interacting with this law firm is it's like interacting with criminals. And threats, threatening my life, threatening my freedom. So if that's how you want to be treated, attorneys are the way for you. They are the path to your happiness. This is clear cut show of rotten behavior. And I apologize how long this is. Unfortunately, there was a massive amount of back and forth. And ultimately, the bullet points on the entire communication, correspondence, would be summed up in 3 or 4 bullet points. Essentially, they did nothing. They expected me to pay them for what I had already contributed to the case, to the matter. Through smoke and mirrors, they had made it seem as though I owed them money for nothing. And there you go. That's the end of it.